Welcome, everyone, to your Encore Catalyst. Today, we have a very interesting topic, and the subject is interviews. Specifically, are you getting interviews or not getting interviews if you're 40 plus or 50 or 60, basically over 40, and you're not getting interviews? It is rarely because you have nothing to offer. Let me get that straight right now. But in a challenging market, hiring is selective, screening is tighter, and random applying gets punished. Doesn't get you anywhere. So, in this session, we're going to give you a practical solution, and it's called the SAFE job list. And the SAFE job list that still hires. These are roles tied to risk, operations, revenue, and retention. And I'll show you how. And also, how to build a simple multi-company plan so your effort creates replies and conversations. And as we go, keep one goal in mind. You're not trying to be perfect. That's not the goal here, right? Perfection is not what we're talking about. You're trying to be targeted enough that the market can quickly understand where you fit and why you're worth a conversation. And also stay to the end for our special resource. So there'll be a little gift waiting for you when you get to the end of the session. Let's get started. Let's jump right in. So what's happening? Hiring is selective. There's reality behind the silence that you might be hearing. There are fewer openings per team, more internal candidates, and tougher screening standards. That means your resume has fewer seconds to match, and more roles are getting filled through internal movement or referrals before the public pipeline even gets warm. So the smart response is not more panic applying. The smart response is to target the work that companies still fund when conditions are cautious. So why it matters? A lot of people confuse activity, or as I say, hitting the enter button on their computer, with progress. You can submit dozens of applications and still have no real movement. So just simply firing out applications does not equal progress. In a selective market, focus creates leverage, clearer positioning, better keyword match, stronger outreach, and faster referrals. Your goal is not to be busy. Your goal is to create replies, conversations, and interviews. That is why targeting matters more than volume in a selective market. Let's look at the three-move plan. Now, this is very simple, but it works. This is a simple operating system for a down market. Move one, choose resilient functions. Work leaders keep funding because it reduces risk. That's a resilient function, right? Because it protects revenue or keeps customers. You want to look at move two, adjacent titles. So you want to expand your title map with adjacent titles. Same strengths, different labels, usually more openings. And then move three, build a 20 company list. Remember, I mentioned a multi-company list. And this target list, you want to reach out to and run weekly outreach. So you're creating conversations instead of waiting on job boards. If you do only one thing after this video, start the 20 company list. And by the way, 20 companies is a minimum. Certainly 30, 40, 50, or 60 makes a lot of sense in a selective market. So let's take a closer look at move one, resilient functions, the safe job list. These four lanes stay active because they tie directly to business survival. What are they? Compliance and risk, protect the company. Operations and process improve efficiency. Revenue support helps cash move faster. Customer retention protects existing income. Right? You do not need to be a perfect industry match for all of these. You need to translate your experience into the language of one of these lanes and then stay focused long enough to build traction. If you like where we're going with this so far, please give us a like. Thank you. So, lane one, compliance risk. Compliance is a must-do work. Companies still need documentation, controls, reporting, accuracy, audit readiness, and policy support, even when budgets are tight. The work doesn't stop. If you have experience with standard operating procedures or SOPs, process checks, reporting, governance, quality systems, or documentation, you may already be closer to this lane than you actually think. If your job is to position that work using outcome language, not if, your job is to position that work using outcome language like audit ready, controls, risk reduction, documentation systems, and policy alignment. That's just an example of how you want to update the language in your resume and your LinkedIn, etc. Lane two, operations and process. Efficiency and cost control. Operations survives because leadership still needs output, coordination, and efficiency. This is a strong lane because experienced professionals, they're hard to come by. And it rewards this lane rewards judgment, pattern recognition, calm execution, and the ability to stabilize messy workflows. So think about your proof in before and after terms. Cycle time reduced, bottlenecks removed, handoffs improved, rework cut, and process standardized. This is the language that makes ops roles feel obvious. Lane three, revenue support. When the when the economy tightens, cash becomes the priority. That is why revenue support roles often keep moving. These roles help sales close, billing move, contracts flow, onboarding start, and reporting stay clean. If you have supported sales, client onboarding, proposals, invoicing, contracts, or revenue-related workflows, package that as revenue enablement and speed to cash. The market responds when you connect your work to actual money flow. Lane four, customer retention. Retention matters because it is usually cheaper to keep a customer than to find a new one. And if you have ever been in sales, you've heard this before. That means companies still invest in renewals, onboarding, customer success operations, service quality, and escalation handling. If you have reduced escalations, improved the response time, strengthened onboarding, or created cleaner customer-facing workflows, you can translate that into retention language. This lane is about protecting recurring revenue and customer trust. You see why this is important in a selective market when things are tight and the economy is challenging. Let's look at move two, adjacent titles. A common mistake is targeting one exact title and ignoring all the nearby openings that use different labels for similar work. Adjacent titles help you widen your pool without changing your real value. They also reduce the risk of getting stuck in ego titles that may not be hiring quickly. The rule is simple. Keep the work the same, but allow the title to flex so you can get into more relevant searches and more realistic conversations. Adjacent title patterns. So let's take a look. Use patterns instead of guessing from scratch. For example, a director level background may map into program manager, ops lead, or enablement lead. A manager may map into ops analyst or program coordinator. A specialist may map into compliance support, operations support, or enablement. This is not about minimizing your background. It is about increasing speed to interview by targeting titles where your proof is easy to understand and your ramp time looks low. Move 3, build your 20 company list. Let me just add this again. Build your minimum 20 company list. This is where strategy becomes execution. Build 10 or 20 obvious fits, depending on how large your list is. These are companies where your background clearly matches, and then the next 10 or 20 stretch fits, where the same function exists even if the industry is new. Use industry clusters so your language can carry across multiple companies: healthcare, insurance, utilities, higher education, logistics, government contractors, and other stable environments. Once your list exists, your weekly search becomes far more focused and much less emotional. Weekly execution scoreboard. You have to inspect what you expect, which means you need to track things. The scoreboard turns job search into a system. No more hope and pray and hope and change. Having a plan and executing against it is going to make you a winner. So you want to look at doing something like this. This is very doable. 10 warm outreaches. Remember, this is a weekly execution scoreboard. 10 warm outreaches, 5 targeted applications, 2 conversations booked, and 1 referral ask is enough to create real movement without burning yourself out. Track what happens each week. If replies are low, adjust one variable at a time: your target list, your proof language, maybe your title map, or your ask. This is how you debug a search instead of just feeling stuck inside it. So we want to outreach. Let's look at a script. Copy and paste outreach script. Right? You want to make it short plus specific and what I call forwardable. The point of this message is not to impress people. The point is to make it easy for someone to forward or answer quickly. Keep it short, specific, and grounded in one lane, one type of outcome, and one adjacent title. Send it to people with context first: former coworkers, managers, vendors, clients, alumni, or warm second-degree connections. Then follow up once after 5 to 7 days. The goal is introductions and conversations, not a cold pitch. And in the sessions before this, I've outlined outreach very specifically by giving you email examples that you can use. So let's take a look at the next 60 minutes. If you're not getting interviews, the problem is usually targeting, right? Not your overall value. Remember, you have value. Your next 60 minutes should be simple. Choose one lane, choose 3 adjacent titles, draft your minimum of 20 customer or company lists, and send 5 messages. Then run the weekly scoreboard for 4 weeks and pay attention to what gets traction. This is how you move from frustration to signal and from signal to interviews. Now, this is the resource that I want you to take seriously. These websites support the exact system in this presentation: LinkedIn, Indeed, ONET Online, state workforce sites, Glassdoor, USA Jobs, company career pages, industry associations. So here's the key. Don't just look at this and say, oh, yeah, I got it. Take a snapshot of it, or even better, revisit the video and cover some of these strategies and tactics here, as well as this resource. Now, these websites support the exact system in this presentation. Use ONET to translate adjacent titles and pull skill keywords. Use LinkedIn to map companies, people, and warm introductions. Use company career pages to set alerts for your company lists. Use Indeed and Glassdoor to study role language. They're very good with that. Also, salary ranges and interview themes. Use USA Jobs and state workforce sites if you want stability-oriented lanes. The goal is not to spend hours browsing. That's not what you want to do. That's going to lead to burnout and frustration. The goal is to use these tools to build a better target list, stronger outreach, and a more focused weekly search. Okay, if you got what you needed out of this session, there are going to be more as I continue our series about getting employed and not letting age be a factor. Okay? So please like, share, subscribe, and comment. It helps us help you. And I will see you next time as we continue this journey together. Take care, everyone.